Stream Team.
Hey everyone, I'm Doug,
I'm Whit.
and we are the Stream Team.
And as you heard earlier, that was our new Stream Team intro.
And a little jingle that I can't remember his name put together for us.
I'll put it down here. Thank you so much for making that. It actually really made my day when I heard it, and it's really awesome. I love it.
So I appreciate that. Yeah. We haven't had time to create animation to go with it, but it's on the to-do list near the bottom.
With
but it's
my
on,
new computer, I'll try something out when I'm at home in my jammies.
Yeah. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about technical directors. I hadn't even realized that we hadn't really covered this, and Whit brought it up a little earlier today. Like, hey, we need to talk about that.
Yep.
So first of all, what is a technical director?
Also known as a TD.
Yep.
If you hear that a lot, that's the technical director.
Mm-hmm.
Technical director is someone who is in charge of all the shots during a live production.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're the ones that operate the switcher.
Mm-hmm.
They, at least on smaller shows, they're the ones that are talking to the camera operators and telling what shots to get.
Mm-hmm.
Although when you get to bigger shows, that becomes the director, and the technical director just basically runs the equipment.
Just does the switcher.
Yeah, just does the equipment. So, yeah,
Okay.
but for most of the sort of stuff that people watching this video,
Mm-hmm.
technical director is doing both. They're both talking to the camera operators, telling what shots to get, and the ones pushing the buttons in order to actually switch
Mm-hmm.
between the different shots.
And they're also bringing up graphics if you don't have a person to do that, and
Yep.
bringing in whatever else. they
starting
may
playback of videos,
Playbacks.
and yeah, so everything associated with running the video switcher, which we talked about switcher in an earlier video. So if you're new to the series, go back and watch those. It's like episode 2, maybe 3 of this series.
Mhm.
But yeah, so they're in charge of running the switcher, and in most cases, they're also the ones that are telling the camera operators what to do. So,
Right.
yep.
Yep.
So, yeah, so
That's what the job entails.
more
Number
or less.
2 is what does the job entail? That.
You kind of covered it, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, in a lot of shows, the technical director actually is in charge of the equipment too. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, especially on smaller ones where you don't have a dedicated video engineer,
Right.
which is the person who's in charge of the equipment.
Mhm.
TD is also the one who makes sure all the equipment is running properly too. So, yeah, it's kind of a big job, you know.
It is a big job.
Yeah.
I got to technical direct camera operators for a concert for the first time over the weekend. So
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it so many times that I sort of knew what to call for and how to talk to the cameraman, but I've never actually done it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a new experience. So normally, the next one's when you call shots,
Yeah.
you'll have multiple cameras up at the same time, so you see everything
Yeah,
at
you
the
have
same
a
time.
multi-view usually, so yeah, you can see all the.
And then you'll talk to the camera operators, and you'll see what kind of shots you have at all times. And then you just kind of give them a heads up, say, hey, go in for this shot. Okay, I'm going to cue you in.
Mhm.
Every technical director says things a little bit
Yeah,
differently.
there's
I've
no
noticed.
official language
There's
for
no
it.
real language, but I would say camera 1. Okay, camera 1, we're going to go. Dissolve 1.
Yeah, stand by, and then either
Stand by, dissolve
go
1.
one, take one.
Make sure you know that you're going to take them, like you're getting ready for them to go, and then tell them that they're on so they know that they're live. A lot of times they have tally lights so they know if they're recording. Sometimes
Tally
you
light's
don't.
just a little red light on camera
Yeah,
somewhere, so
and
they can
that's
see when
just
they're live, yeah.
it's just another indication to let you know that you're live right now
Mhm.
instead of waiting to go live.
Yep.
And then while that's happening, you kind of direct your other camera operators to prepare for other shots.
Right.
And then you switch in between them.
Yeah, so like she
But-
says, it's really important to give the camera operators a heads up for when they're about to go live, because you don't want to
Yes.
catch somebody in the middle of doing a whip pan to go get another shot.
Yeah, they're kind of in between
So
shots
you want-
usually.
You want to let them know that they're about to go live, so that's why you do like a standby 1, let camera
Mhm.
1 know that they're
Mhm.
going to be up next,
Right.
and then once you're ready, you can do take 1 or just Go One or whatever. The language is all over the place.
Right.
I hear different technical directors using different terminology all the time.
Yeah.
My style is very different than a lot of other people's. But
it's always important to reiterate what camera you're on, what camera is on right now.
yeah, camera
who's up
operators
next.
always need to know when they're live.
Yes.
Because otherwise, whoop,
Yeah, and that actually happened to me last week when I was up at a shoot. We had a new TD, and a couple times he didn't tell us that we were live, and we didn't have tally lights. So a couple times I'd go to do something, and then it'd be like, "Oh, you're on." I'm like, "Oh, oops, I didn't know that." So it takes a little bit of practice, but you really have to make sure that your camera operators know what's happening.
Yep. So communication is probably, I wouldn't say it's necessarily the hardest part of the job, but it's a huge part of the job. You have to always be in communication with your camera operators.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's kind of important is like you kind of want to come up with a game plan for what you're going to do with your shots. So we do a lot of music events with DJP, and it's nice to like start on a wide shot and then go into a medium shot and then go to a tight shot and then kind of pull back, maybe go back to a medium or maybe go back to a wide. To have some sort of progression in mind for what you're shooting, so that you're not always on a tight shot.
Right.
And you don't start on a tight shot and then go to a wide shot for your second shot of an event or whatever.
Right.
So I mean, it's nice to have some sort of game plan in place, and you have to talk your camera operators through that. So depending on how good your camera operators are, they might automatically just know how to give you good shots, but then other times you're going to have some that have never...
I don't know.
Yeah, don't have any real experience. And so
make sure you like tell them what you're looking for, and depending on where their camera is, say like, okay, we're probably going to keep you on a wide shot for this camera angle most of the time. So make sure you know that, or you know this, and let them know exactly what you're looking for ahead of time. Then everyone's on the same page.
Right.
But concerts are fun because you get into a flow of, and then sometimes when it's a faster song, you can kind of do quicker cuts, and an intuitive camera operator will know that. Usually they'll kind of zoom in and out a little bit quicker or something like that, and then slower songs you can kind of slow it down.
Right, but it's your job as TD to kind of make that determination.
Right, yeah.
For this event, before the event started, even though I wasn't technical directing, I told the technical directors I like to have a lot of motion when we're doing music events. So for 2/3 of the shots, have some sort of motion. Zoom in or pan or tilt or something. Just something to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good to have the camera operators know that at time, but it's your job as TD to communicate that during the event.
Yeah.
Say,
make sure they know that.
Give me a zoom on this. Push in on this next shot. So, you're stealing my water.
Sorry.
so push in on this next shot, or pull out on this next shot, or whatever. So, but yeah, you have a game plan. Don't just go into it randomly and.
Yeah, communication is key.
Yeah. So you're in charge. You're the one. That's literally calling the shots.
Literally calling the shots, yeah. That's one where we should make a shirt. I call the shots.
There you go.
TD.
Another awesome shirt.
Write that down.
So yeah, you're literally the one that's calling the shots, and so the camera operators are doing what you're telling them to do.
What you say,
so
yeah.
You're the boss. So make sure that you're acting like it and not letting them direct you. Don't let the tail wag the dog.
Exactly.
So, as far as
switcher
technology, yes. So the biggest piece of equipment you interact with most as a technical director is the video switcher. So, and we've got a control panel here.
This is what I used over the weekend.
Yep.
So that was a nice piece of equipment.
This isn't necessarily what you would typically see a technical director use. I use these because of their flexibility. I can make any button do anything I want. Whereas when you buy a pre-made one from some manufacturer, the button, whatever
it's
button,
set,
whatever button says, that's what it's always going to do, no matter what you do. So, but I like this style. But, so anyway, so
each camera will have a button, typically.
In this case, we've got.
I don't know if I want to touch anything. Is it going to change anything?
Just the monitor behind us. So, yeah. So if I cut to that, so she's switching what's going to this monitor behind us. So as she's pressing different buttons there. Unfortunately, we couldn't show you the preview. So this is actually what's live. So as she's
so I'm literally.
She's hitting the button.
My editing of the actual thing.
There you go. All right.
There's some TD stuff.
Yep. So she's hitting the button to select which camera to put on preview, which is not the camera that's live, but the camera that's going to be live next.
Right.
So she's hitting the button.
So you kind of just hit what button you're going to pick and then hit
auto for a dissolve or cut for just a quick cut between.
Quick cut.
between
In
the
music, I feel like we just use dissolves.
shots. Depends on. I
only use dissolves.
I use cuts exclusively for fast stuff, and then I use dissolves more for the slower songs because it sort of matches the pace of what's going on. But as technical
depends on
director,
the
that's
person.
your call.
Yeah.
you get to decide. And so it's just personal style, and there's no right or wrong answers to that. So like I say, we used a lot of dissolves when she was directing, and that worked.
Yeah.
And for me, when I'm doing faster stuff, it's more cuts, and I do a lot of quick cuts when we have faster paced stuff. So like camera 1, camera 2, camera 3.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I remember at one point I was like, okay, camera 1, camera 2, all right, I see you, camera 1, camera 2, like constantly. I was like, wow, this is like a fast-paced job.
It can be.
And like at some point I was like, okay, I feel like I need to slow down because there's only 3 camera operators and I felt like they were gonna like
You're wearing them out.
struggling. Yeah, and I was like, okay, I need to like relax a little, but it's part of it.
So,
That's funny.
yeah. So what was the hardest part about TDing?
I think just getting over not being nervous, trying to tell my camera operators how
There's a lot
to
of
do
pressure
their
there, isn't
job.
there? A lot of pressure.
There kind of is, and I feel like if you don't really sound confident, you know what you're doing, they just start doing whatever they want. So you kind of have to be a little stern, be like, no, I need you to do this. Please do this now.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you now, blah, blah, blah.
Because they don't know what your master plan is.
Right.
And they don't necessarily, in most cases, they don't know what the other camera operators are doing. DJP is kind of unique in that we actually do let them see other cameras.
Yeah. So you got to see everyone's camera angle at all times.
Just with DJP.
But just
Other
here.
companies don't do that. But yeah, so they don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
They don't know what you're going to want to do next. And so it's important for you to communicate with them, let them know, hey, I'm going to go to you. I need you on a wide shot. I'm going to go to you next. And then while that's going on, then you can tell your next camera operator, hey, I go to a medium shot.
Yeah.
Give me a 2 shot, which means 2 people. I have 2 people in the shot or whatever.
Well, in some TDs, like they kind of let you have more freedom to do whatever you want.
Again, style.
Some TDs tell you exactly what they want the entire time. I had that happen in 1 week when I was out of town. Like one TD sort of gave me some direction, and then the other one, every single move he told me to do. It was like I was a
zero
robot,
freedom,
and I was just doing whatever they wanted.
Right.
I don't necessarily like that too much,
Well, yeah.
but it just depends on the shoot.
As
too.
a camera operator, you're just a robot.
Yeah, I was like, I'm a drone and just do whatever they say. But, you know, for this one, I kind of let them have more freedom because they knew what they were doing.
And a lot of it depends on the skill level of your camera operators, too. So.
And then the camera angles and stuff, some people just knew that that's exactly what you needed in the song, and it made it really easy. So I feel like if I let them have a little bit more freedom, they typically do better. And then
it depends on their skill level. Like,
and it depends on how intuitive they
you know,
are
with DJP,
what
we
they're doing.
operate with a very wide range of skill levels. So like for this thing we had last week, we had a couple camera operators who had only done it a handful of times.
Yeah.
So those people tend to need a little more direction
Yeah.
and a little more confidence from the person that's directing, so that they feel like they're someone's
And
leading them.
I always appreciate it when the TD compliments you or tells you what you're doing right. And so I found myself doing that with them too, to make sure that like they're doing a good job, or
yeah,
especially when they are.
I try to thank camera operators whenever they give me something cool.
Yeah,
Give them
they're like,
some-
oh, I like that shot. Okay, I'm gonna take it. Try your move again.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah.
So it kind of felt like directing actors a little bit.
It is.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is. So, I'll tell you what though, the hardest thing for me, technical directing, at least when I was first getting started, was just being able to watch all the cameras at the same time.
Yeah, that took a minute to get used to also.
Yeah.
Because you really have to watch them all at the same
You
time.
literally have to watch all the cameras at the same time.
I found myself just watching the other cameras instead of the program.
Right. That's
a lot.
kind of normal.
And
That
so
is kinda
I was
normal,
just
yeah.
like, well, I hope they're doing what I told them to do.
And a good camera operator will know that when they're live that they shouldn't do anything crazy.
Right, yeah. So
keep
just
doing what they're doing.
Just
right?
kind of stay where you're at or
Yeah.
whatever.
But at the same time, if you got a motion shot, it's important that you kind of watch and make sure that your subject isn't going out of frame in the middle of the shot. So anyway.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
but for me, the skill that took the longest to become comfortable with was learning to watch all the different cameras at once.
Yeah.
So especially when you get into situations where you have more than 4 or 5, you know.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad I started on 3 because that was enough.
I've done events where we've had as many as 12, and that is a handful.
That's a lot for one person.
It is like, and your eyes are constantly jumping around.
Mm-hmm.
You never really get a great idea of what necessarily going on, but you have to.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
Say, decide we're going to go on this camera next. Let them know.
It's
So-
a lot of decision making too. Like you're completely in charge of
Yeah.
everything. I remember at one point I was like, I don't know what shot to take. I guess I got to make a decision
Yeah.
because everyone's waiting.
Right. Yeah. You can't have much hesitation because.
So yeah, you really have
it's
to think
live.
on your feet. Yeah, you're just like, okay, I'm gonna go with this. So that was a little overwhelming, and then once I got in the groove, then I was fine.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah. It can be a lot of fun, and I prefer technical directing over running camera for most
Mhm.
events, but at the same time, it's definitely higher pressure
It's a lot more pressure.
than running camera.
Yeah.
Because like if you're running camera, if you don't have a good shot, they'll just use somebody else.
Mhm.
But as a technical director, you're in charge.
You better make sure you pick a good shot then.
Yeah.
But I think being a camera operator helped a lot too.
Oh, for
'Cause
sure,
I
yeah.
understand what it's like to be on that end and what you want to hear. And like I know what it's like when you have a shot that you're really excited about and they don't take it and you're like,
They'll let
I
down.
suck. So like I kind of try and be, sensitive to that, or at least
And, you know-
I understand that.
And on the end of the camera operator, you're trying to anticipate what the technical director
Right.
might want.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a two-way thing for sure.
Yeah.
But in terms of being the technical director, you're the one calling it. So
Mhm.
you're the one making those decisions. And
Yeah.
so if your camera operators aren't giving you the shots that you want, that's your fault.
Yeah.
'Cause
You got to
'cause
tell
you're-
them.
You're not telling them what
Mhm.
to get. So anyway.
I said pan right. At
Tilt up? What?
At one point, Joe got so excited. He's like, sorry, I'm yelling. I'm like, yeah, stop yelling at us. But we were all friends. We were just laughing. So,
Yeah. Being a TD can actually be a lot of fun though too. 'Cause,
Yeah.
You're kind of the one that's there to sort of to entertain the camera
Yeah,
operators.
'cause
they can't really talk to you
kind
very
of gets
much.
old a little bit. I remember making a few jokes because I've been on comms a lot where we just joke around the whole time depending on the shoot, and it's
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah, as TD, you're definitely setting the mood.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're super, super serious, then your camera operator is going to be super serious and
Yeah.
probably bored.
It's not as fun with a boring TD. Kind of
So-
makes a big difference,
Yeah.
especially in your mood. But we all had fun.
Yeah. You're going to do it again? You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it. Especially a concert. Those are
Yeah.
the best.
Those are. I think the music events are
You
the
kind of
most
get
fun.
into the flow of things with
Yeah.
the songs and stuff.
and it's
so.
faster paced than like business conferences
Mhm.
and things like that. So business conferences are not very fun to
No,
to
you
direct.
can't be very creative either.
No, you're like,
There's no swish pan or anything. Be weird.
So anyway, so yeah, it's a high pressure job, but it can be fun.
Mhm.
More fun than a lot of other jobs that you have on an event. So
Yeah.
it's the job I get shoehorned into most of the time, just because we don't have budget to hire somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, we'll definitely figure out ways to get you doing that more in the future. So as long as we got budget to pay a TD separate from
All
me.
it comes
so,
down to.
Yeah, all the time. It's all about the budget.
Yep.
So
We have merch.
yes, we do.
In case everyone's wondering, our shirts match.
Yep.
And our mug.
This is Paul's design.
Yes,
when he
Paul.
we
Thank you,
crashed
Paul.
our last live stream. Maybe
Yeah.
that was our last one. The last one we did.
I don't know.
That was the last one we did. So yeah.
Yeah, so Paul made this out of tape and then we recreated it. So and they're actually really comfy and nice. So
Yep.
I really
So-
like this is my favorite one too. Paul made it in just a
Just
few minutes.
spontaneous.
Yeah.
So
So we have that and
We
then
also did-
mugs.
same idea in a mug. So this one.
Stream Team mug.
Yeah, this one says Stream Team mug.
Mhm.
Well, you
We're
stole my
very
water.
creative.
At some point, we'll have Stream Team water bottles too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then we have other shirts and more coming, hopefully.
Mhm.
Just
As
gotta
soon as we have the time to create
actually
them.
do it. Exactly.
So, anyway, so yeah, if you're new to this series, this is I think video 18 in the Stream Team series at this point. So designed for people who are just getting started in video production and need kind of a hand and trying to learn the ropes. So a playlist, yes.
Yep. Like, share, subscribe.
Yes.
So we can make more content.
And if you have not
share it.
joined as a member of the channel, we'd very much appreciate that too. So that's basically where you give us a couple bucks a month in order to help produce this content. You know, can't do this for free, guys. So memberships actually help
as much
out.
as we would like to. There's a join button down at the bottom.
Yeah, just click the join button there, and we have plans ranging from $2 a month up to $10 a month. Different levels of perks that you get for each one of them. So, yeah.
New BTS coming out soon of the concert we just did. So
Yep.
there's one.
That's available for people at the All-Star level. And then we'll be doing a live stream here just for members here before too long. And
Get all your questions asked.
discount on
answered.
merchandise. That's another perk there. So, and then a fancier free tier for my crewaccess.com website that I've created. So it's a site for managing your video production business, crews and everything. So you can join as a member.
It's kind of a big deal. Like, I would just join it just for that.
Yeah, it's totally worth it.
I'm serious.
Especially you get the perk at $2 a month.
Yeah, that's nothing.
The cheapest plan for the site is $20 a month. So
Yeah, it's actually a really good deal. So
okay, if you have questions, you can leave those in the comment section down below, and somebody will try and answer them. Hopefully, the community, because I'm getting to the point
Someone will
where I
answer
can't keep up anymore. But anyway, so
if not, save them for the Q&A.
yeah, there you go. So anyway, so thanks everyone for watching, and we'll talk to you later.